episode 35 of the ICT Mastery Mentorship, primary and minor liquidity. Never thought I'd even make it this far. Jeez, man. Episode 35, that's crazy to think about. Anyway, primary and minor liquidity. How do we find primary liquidity? Well, one of the ways to find it will be like this. Okay, ready? Watch this. See, we're on the 15-minute, right? There's a reason we're down here. For example, let's say you're trading right here around this candle, right there, right? You don't see any of this. Pretend we see none of this, right? What you want to do to find primary liquidity would be to find the current 15-minute dealing range that price is currently trading in. Simple, right? That 15-minute dealing range, I said 15-minute, I don't even know what I just said, would be here to there. Easy, right? Simple? Yeah, pretty simple. Now, you're probably like, okay, we drew it, but where's the liquidity? Down here and up here, okay? Whichever one price wants to reach to is the primary liquidity. And clearly, price wants to go down, if we can, just see in hindsight. That down there, the low of the dealing range would be what? Primary liquidity. Yep, you're right. You're right. If price wanted to go up, that would be the primary liquidity. Once that gets broken, okay, once this low gets broken, since it's a bearish dealing range, a dealing range that's being created as it's going down, you could mark each low that makes a not, I was about to say a bigger, but a deeper dealing range, a deeper discounted dealing range. You could use that low as primary liquidity now. Simple, right? Because it's still the 15-minute dealing range that price is trading in. So if it comes back up, you want to short, boom, you can take it right there. Easy, right? Yeah. And guess what? If those targets on there, like those lows are too small, the next primary liquidity would be something that actually makes sense. Something that price would actually want to run to. Like these equal lows right here. If I can highlight it. Those equal lows. That low there, that's below those equal lows. And then we have another pair of equal lows right there. See it? I'm sure you see it. So it's basically the drawn liquidity and what makes the most sense to price. But to easily find some primary liquidity to target would be this way right here. Now, minor liquidity. Minor liquidity, I think I might just make this video under 10 minutes long because these concepts are pretty easy. Minor liquidity, think of it as the liquidity that price has to touch. Well, that sounded wrong. The liquidity that price has to run into before seeking primary liquidity. Or if you're taking just miniature scalps, you can use the primary, not primary. Jeez, I keep getting my words confused. You can use the minor liquidity to take real short trades, like 30 points, 20 points, stuff like that. That's what the minor liquidity is mainly used for. But the market would mainly use minor liquidity to cause liquidity purges and stuff like that, and to basically just stall itself. It'll stall itself around minor liquidity levels. Okay. Now, how do you find minor liquidity? Well, that's simple. Minor liquidity can be stuff like random key swings within price. And you probably like key swings. Well, what does that mean? When I say key swings, think of it as I can't really explain it. Think of it as if you show a complete beginner that doesn't know anything about the markets at all, right? Like your grandma or your baby sister, for example, and you tell them, "Can you tell me where this thing goes up and down? Like, can you tell me like what points does it go up and down at?" They would probably see something like this. Well, it went down right here, then it went up right here, then it went down right here, then it went up right here, then it went down right here. Basically, what I'm saying here is the swings that are obvious, the obvious swings that are not like encapsulated in price like this one is right here. To your eyes, it might be obvious because you're trained. I wouldn't say trained professional because you're not there yet, but you're definitely trained. So you would see that as an obvious swing. But I'm saying like to the average person that doesn't know anything that's just there in the spotlight to their eyes would be a key swing. So stuff like this, or that, or this, or that, or even this, or that, or this, or that. Now, you're probably like, okay, we know that, but isn't there like a certain time frame? Yeah, you're right. There is a certain time frame. We have to be on the 15-minute. Well, no, not the 15-minute, but anything under the 15-minute would be where you find minor liquidity. Now, the second way you find minor liquidity is minor liquidity that's within this dealing range here, or within the current 15-minute dealing range. So whatever liquidity, hear me out, whatever liquidity is within that dealing range on, for example, the 5-minute, which is lower than the 15, would be minor liquidity. Simple, right? Yeah, it's easy. Real easy. Nothing too hard. So let's say right here, right? Listen here. Watch this. Let's say this is the dealing range that you're currently in. See all those key swings right here? Well, mainly this one. This is mainly the key swing right here. Yeah, right there. The key swing rule, I forgot to mention this because I'm going to confuse you if I don't say this. The key swing rule doesn't really apply if you're looking for minor liquidity within the dealing range. If you're looking for liquidity within the dealing range, the key swing rule doesn't really apply. But if you're looking outside of it, then yes, it does apply. So, for example, if you're looking for liquidity within the current 15-minute dealing range, this right here could be your minor liquidity. But to the average person, they might not even see that's a point that where price went up at. So that could be minor liquidity. No, not could, but it is liquidity because it's within the 15-minute dealing range. If not, then it wouldn't be minor liquidity because it would have to be a key swing. So for example, there's no dealing range here. That's not minor liquidity. What's minor liquidity? That right there. You can show this to a complete beginner, and they'll obviously see that price went up here, price went down here, went back up there, price went back down here, price really went up here. You get what I'm saying? It's basically highs that are just there. You can obviously see them. It's obviously there. You get what I mean? Okay, I don't think I have to exaggerate on that any longer. Okay, but primary liquidity is basically the liquidity run, and minor liquidity is liquidity that's used for liquidity purges. Okay. Simple, right? Or if you want to just take miniature targets, that's what the minor liquidity is for. So minor liquidity for small targets and liquidity purges, primary liquidity for primary targets or larger targets, and liquidity runs. Easy, real easy, right? I think I'm gonna end this video here because that's literally all you needed to learn. It's because I don't think I need to do an example. You know what liquidity purges are. You know what liquidity runs are. Simple, right? Real simple. I just wanted to teach you that because now we're gonna go a little bit more in depth in the next episode. That's we're gonna really go over some hindsight trades and really look at some analysis, okay? And really look at this market. Anyway, I just said really like 3 times, 7 minutes. I don't want to make this too long. It's a simple concept. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Good luck and good trading.